Ever walked into a room and, felt all eyes on you? Or just wished you seemed a bit more sure of yourself?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
We've all been there. And it's amazing how much our body language gives away, isn't it? Often without us even thinking about it.
Totally. And that's exactly what we're diving into today. We're looking at insights from a Wired video with a body language expert.
Yeah, they really break down how confidence is shown non-verbally.
What's great is it goes beyond just, stand up straight.
Right. It gets into specific behaviors, things we could actually understand and maybe even use ourselves.
Exactly. So our mission here is to pull out those key strategies, give you, the listener, some really practical things you can try.
Whether it's for work, a party, or just everyday stuff.
Yeah. And it's not about putting on an act, right? It's about understanding behaviors that genuinely signal confidence.
Using them authentically.
Okay, so let's dig in. First big thing, just walking into a room. That initial entrance.
It's huge. The expert talks about someone confident coming in. They look comfortable. They scan the room, no hesitation. Gestures are kind of broad, smooth.
It sounds like they just feel at ease, like they belong there.
Exactly. There's this openness.
Yeah.
Not constricted, like when you're anxious.
Yeah, that makes sense. The expert mentioned Helen Mirren, the actress. How hard it is just to walk onto a stage convincingly.
Oh, interesting.
And you can see that, right?
Yeah.
Walking into a meeting, a party, commanding that space from the get-go.
Totally. And they contrast that confident, purposeful walk like you're on a mission with, avoiding eye contact, sort of hesitantly looking around.
You're saying so much before you even say hello.
Absolutely. Volumes.
The Colin Powell example was really striking, too. How he could command a room before speaking a word.
Yeah, attributed to his knowledge, his experience, but also that persona he built, that statesman image.
It shows it's not just posture, it's also what you project from the inside, kind of. Your competence.
Right. It's layered. The outer stuff reflects some inner state, ideally. A clear sense of self.
So that's the confident entrance. But confidence isn't always, big and loud, is it?
No, and that's a really important point the expert makes. They debunk that idea.
So what does that quieter confidence look like?
Well, they use Jane Goodall as an example. Very commanding, but quiet. It's about self-command, this inner assurance.
Not showy, but strong.
Precisely. It radiates out differently. Makes you think maybe true confidence is more about that internal conviction than just the outward display.
Yeah, you don't have to be the loudest voice. Okay, this next part is fascinating. The link between confidence and time.
Ah, yes. Temporal control. The idea that confident people seem to operate on their own time.
How so?
They take their time walking. They pause. Think before answering. They speak deliberately.
So they're not rushed.
Exactly. It communicates they aren't feeling pressured or flustered. Someone who rushes might seem, less certain.
But someone who moves and speaks with that kind of intention.
Projects control. And control feels confident. They set the pace.
Right. So where does this stuff come from? How do we learn these behaviors? The expert talks about socialization.
Yes, a lot of it is learned. We watch people we see as high status or leaders, people who seem confident, and we subconsciously sort of model them.
Like observational learning.
We pick up on their cues, their mannerisms, maybe even vocabulary, without really realizing it.
So if your boss carries themselves a certain way or someone you admire speaks confidently, you might start to adopt some of that.
Yes. And the expert says you can do this consciously too, strategically.
How do you mean?
Well, if you want a certain outcome in a specific situation, you can choose to adopt behaviors, gestures, ways of speaking that you associate with confidence in that context.
So it's not changing who you are fundamentally, but adapting your presentation for a purpose.
Exactly. Like putting on a specific hat for a situation.
The Cary Grant story they mentioned really drives this home.
Oh, yeah. That's a great example. Coming from a tough background, he consciously learned and adopted those high-status mannerisms.
And completely transformed his persona. Shows the power of that intentional modeling.
It really does. And it encourages you, the listener, to think about people you see as confident. The expert mentioned Cate Blanchett, for instance.
Okay.
Observe them. How do they handle interviews? What's their command presence like? What specific things do they do?
Right, so you can start to notice the details. Okay, so modeling is one thing. What about specific nonverbal cues? Practical tips.
One they highlighted was the shrug. The quick, dismissive, where did they go? Shrug. Apparently, that's widely disliked. It signals uncertainty, maybe helplessness.
So what's the alternative?
A clear, directed gesture,
Right.
pointing, or an open hand gesture indicating direction. It's more definite, more in command.
Subtle, but it sends a different message.
Very different. And the story about the law enforcement officer learning to use a commanding voice.
Oh, yeah, that was powerful.
The difference between a hesitant, high-pitched, stop, you're under arrest, versus a firm, deep, stop right there, don't move.
Huge difference. Shows how much vocal tone matters.
Definitely. And they suggested say no exercise. Have you tried that?
No, telling.
Just say no. Then say it again, but really mean it. Like, really no.
Okay, no. Oh.
Did you notice your voice probably got a bit deeper? Maybe your fingers spread slightly?
Maybe a little.
That physical grounding that's connected to the feeling of conviction, of confidence, you can practice that feeling.
Interesting. Okay, shifting to speech patterns now. Uptalk. That came up.
Yes, uptalk. Ending statements like questions with that rising inflection.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
The expert points out that while it might just be how someone naturally speaks, it can be perceived negatively, especially by, say, CEOs or executives.
Why is that?
It can make you sound unsure of what you're saying,
Yeah.
like you're seeking approval even when stating a fact. It can undermine your authority.
Even if you don't mean it to. It's about perception.
Exactly. It's worth being aware of, especially in professional settings.
And related to that is cadence, the rhythm of speech.
The pacing, how fast or slow you talk, the pauses you use. It hugely impacts how people receive your message.
If you talk too fast, people might just tune out or think you're nervous.
Precisely. Think about powerful speeches. Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream, or Churchill's speeches.
They use pauses really effectively.
Absolutely. Strategic pauses. That's temporal control again. It gives weight to your words, lets the audience absorb them. It signals authority.
Like you're controlling the flow of information, not just rushing to get it out.
Exactly. It projects being in charge, not being hurried. So it's not just what you say, but very much how you say it. The rhythm, the pauses.
Okay, what about posture? We always hear shoulders back, chin up.
Right, the classic advice. And it's not wrong. It can help. But the expert adds some nuance. Confidence isn't just about being ramrod straight. It can also be shown by just sitting comfortably, occupying your space in a relaxed but engaged way. Not stiff, not slumped.
Just present and at ease in your space.
Yeah. And they mentioned steepling, touching fingertips together.
Oh, I've seen people do that.
It can subtly signal thoughtfulness, being considered, being confident in your thoughts.
So again, it's not about being loud or physically imposing.
No, it's more about projecting preparedness, readiness, being in command of yourself and your information.
Like conveying information clearly, it's this way, rather than trying too hard to convince someone through repetition or force.
Exactly. Which ties into how people move, too.
Right. The contrast between smooth, unhurried movements
Versus being rushed, fidgety. The expert called them preening behaviors, fiddling with clothes, hair, jewelry.
Things that signal nervousness or self-consciousness.
Yeah. Confident people tend to take their time. They look, they assess, they respond without that sense of frantic energy. Less confident moments often feel urgent.
Like you have to rush to keep up or prove yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, this is all great if you feel confident, but what if you don't? What about dealing with genuine lack of confidence? The expert shared some personal stuff here.
Yeah, this is really useful. They talked about their own shyness, public speaking anxiety.
What was the advice?
First, just acknowledge it. Be honest with yourself. Okay, I feel scared right now. It normalizes it. Take some power away from the fear.
Instead of fighting it, just name it. Okay.
Then, preparation. Cannot stress that enough. Knowing your material inside out is a huge confidence builder.
Makes sense. You feel more grounded.
And rehearse. Don't let the first time you give the presentation be the actual presentation. Practice it.
Good point. Get the kinks out beforehand.
And they had a physical tip, too, leaning against a wall before going on stage or into a meeting.
Leaning against a wall. Why?
To kind of release tension, feel grounded, occupy space. It's like a mini physical warm-up to feel more powerful and composed.
Interesting. Like tricking your body into feeling more solid.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And finally, just taking a breath, a deliberate moment to compose yourself right before you start speaking. Pause, then begin.
Simple, but probably makes a big difference to how you start off.
Yes, that's the tone.
So it's really clear from all this that confidence isn't something you're just born with.
Absolutely not. The expert was very clear on that. It's developed.
How?
Through encouragement, maybe from parents, through achieving things, small wins, building up, through pushing your own boundaries, trying things that scare you a bit.
And they gave examples of confident people in all sorts of situations.
Right. People using wheelchairs, older people, kids even. Confidence isn't tied to one specific physical type or age. It's internal.
So what are the key ingredients then, wrapping up?
Knowing your stuff, your
Yeah.
material, your skills, honing those skills, and having that sense of self-mastery, of being in control of yourself.
Competence plus inner assurance.
That's a good way to put it. That combination is what ultimately shines through as confident behavior.
Okay, so let's quickly recap this deep dive. We talked about making a confident entrance using purposeful movement.
Right. And controlling your speech, thinking about cadence, avoiding uptalk, using pauses effectively.
Using mindful gestures, not fidgeting.
Mm.
The power of really good preparation.
And crucially, understanding that confidence is a learned behavior, a skill you can cultivate. It's not fixed.
It's about consciously choosing behaviors linked to genuine confidence, which can influence how you're seen and even how you feel.
Exactly.
So for you listening, maybe think about one or two things from our chat today. Is there a small adjustment you could try in how you move, how you speak?
What might make the biggest difference for you, not just in how others perceive you, but maybe in how you start to perceive yourself?
And here's something to chew on. We've talked about the components of projected confidence.
Mm-hmm.
If you start consciously integrating some of these behaviors, how might that not only change perceptions, but actually start to subtly shift your own internal confidence over time? Could acting the part authentically help you become a part?
That's a really interesting question to ponder. How much does the external influence the internal?